joining a casualty list that also includes Breaker, Martin, Lazaridis and Bogas. Robbie Slater replaces Hughes, and Kenny Brown, recalled from a loan spell with Reading, is restored, as Harry Redknapp turns out the only 14 fit players he has available.
Well, as normal, West Ham play a 4-4-2 formation. At the back you've got Brown, Potts, Rieper and Dix. Alvin Martin's still injured, and they certainly miss his influence. When he started, they very rarely lose. In midfield they have major problems. Lazaridis, Hughes and Harkes, all players who can play in wide areas, are all injured. So Slater will play on the left-hand side of midfield, but he's predominantly right-footed. Then you have three central midfield players, and it's Williamson who will be asked to play a little bit wide on the right-hand side. And the normal two up front, Cottee and Dowie.
There's no Brian McClare in the Manchester United squad. He got the equalising goal here last season. But United tonight will favour a back four after the policy of three central defenders was abandoned during the FA Cup tie at Sunderland. So there's no Paul Parker in the starting lineup. Lee Sharpe comes in, so Paul Scholes, who scored at Roker Park and against West Ham at Old Trafford in August, is left on the bench.
Yes, despite the fact that Scholes scored at Roker Park, he still can't find a place in the starting lineup. It is a 4-4-2 formation, with Cantona as usual just dropping off, playing behind Cole. And on this occasion they do have width. In recent games they've been lacking width. Giggs will play on the right-hand side and Sharpe on the left. And the player who will appreciate that more than anyone will be Andy Cole, who's in great goal-scoring form at the moment. I think it's in the last 5 games he scored 4 goals. Certainly the man tonight that West Ham fear.
Upton Park, truly one of the great theatres of football. Special atmosphere here for most games, but particularly for the visitors. And after that period of inactivity at Upton Park, during which they've just played the one FA Cup tie against Southend to successful effect, these West Ham players must be looking forward to returning to the arena. One of the games that was postponed was against the leaders Newcastle. The Coventry fixture also fell by the wayside.
Well, they certainly look relaxed enough. This is the game of the season for West Ham. I think whenever you play against Manchester United, it's always a special occasion. It's the game that every player wants to play against, and that's why, for a team like Manchester United, it's so difficult. Everyone likes to beat them. Liverpool have had it over the past 20 years. They still have it. Manchester United, over the last 4 or 5 years, have been in outstanding form, winning championships. And tonight, West Ham will be going all out for victory.
Definitely a good luck message there from Alvin Martin as he walked through. Steve Bruce leads out Manchester United. The onus in the championship race very much on them. But West Ham with a point to prove as well here at Upton Park. Their period of inactivity has seen them slide dangerously down the table. They want to make sure that that bad run is halted. The stakes are high for both teams at Upton Park tonight. The whole of West Ham against Manchester United to come on Sky Sports. West Ham to get the game underway. 1-1 it finished here last season. The day that Manchester United lost their hopes of the league title. Alex Ferguson said in the build-up to this game that twice in the last 4 years United's title ambitions have ended here. They lost at Upton Park in the year that Leeds won the title, and he's determined that West Ham are not going to inflict another harsh blow on his side's championship chances. Referee Stephen Lodge, who was the 4th official at Anfield when Blackburn clinched the title last season. And it came off Cottee's head for a Manchester United throw. Here's Danny Williamson. Looking for Dowie, who's trying to slip between Neville and Bruce. Continued makeshift partnership. Not too convincing, the clearance from Schmeichel. Slater looking to get away. Thought he'd been caught by Dennis Irwin. Referee not impressed by his appeal. Moncur was a bit slow. Butt came in. Andy Cole. Butt moves on ahead. United. Manchester United have won the free kick.
Just a word on the two formations. They are exactly as we anticipated. Manchester United with Giggs on the right, Sharpe on the left, and for West Ham, Slater on the left, and Williamson on the right-hand side of midfield.
Mikloško, who was a key part of Manchester United being unable to get the victory here last season. That's a great kick. Dowie and Cottee are both in there, and it's off the bar. What a magnificent clearance from the goalkeeper that put Schmeichel under pressure. Real Route 1 stuff.
Well, it's an enormous kick from Mikloško. The secret is here, he kicks it early. Manchester United aren't prepared for it. Schmeichel completely beaten.
Manchester United's goal under pressure again, headed away by Cantona. Giggs.
Well, as that corner came over, Rob, there were shouts from the West Ham supporters for handball.
Cantona it was who went up for it. Clearance by Irwin to Moncur. Bruce looking to shepherd it away from Cottee, and the goal kick given. But Manchester United have had a torrid opening. Cantona, the subject of West Ham fans' appeals for a handball in the area as that corner was flung in. After the Hammers had previously hit Schmeichel's crossbar from an enormous clearance from his opposite number. Dowie, Cottee. Here's Williamson. Aim towards Dowie at the back post. Cottee will go into pressurise. Schmeichel gets it away. This is Giggs. Dix was in the way of the intended pass to Cole. Manchester United being seriously troubled by Dowie's height at the moment. That last move occurred when he got to the ball ahead of Gary Neville. Bruce. Tackled by Cantona. Butt. Giggs. Weave his way through, comes out to Keane, deflects awkwardly, but Sharpe is offside. But should West Ham have had a penalty because of this man?
Well, let's have a look at it. The corner comes in there from Bishop. Just watch Cantona. Now, does he handle it? I think he did. Well, difficult to say, isn't it? The second time I've looked at it, perhaps he didn't, he headed it, but certainly the fans behind the goal were shouting for a penalty, and my first thoughts were that he did handle it. Perhaps Mr. Lodge was correct. Very, very debatable, Rob.
Certainly a hand was raised. The head made contact somewhere along the line, but did touch the hand after that. And did the hand affect the clearance?
Certainly an unusual way to go up to head a ball, especially in your own penalty box when you're defending a corner. I was in doubt. Mr. Lodge could have been in doubt and given a penalty, and that would have been a disastrous start for United.
Dix trying to beat Neville again. It was Dowie who got sandwiched between the two defenders. Clearance by Phil Neville. But Cantona. Keane with Giggs overlapping to his right. Dix solidly in on the challenge. Neville. It's come off Kenny Brown. Phil Neville can beat Rieper for height. This is Moncur. Bruce stealing in ahead of Cottee, but giving it straight to Slater. Stumbled by Williamson, allowed Phil Neville to get there. He was very alert, the defender. Gets it back from Sharpe. Cantona. Cole trying to pull into space in the area. Irwin. Nicky Butt. Keane's cross taking a deflection off Ian Bishop. Maybe a little more comfortable for the goalkeeper. Williamson looking to spring Cottee clear. Gary Neville attacking the ball forcefully. Brown. Williamson's cross. Slater was in there, went over his head. Irwin's clearance. Nicky Butt. Slater trying to tease Giggs and coming out the loser. Keane. Dowie harrying Manchester United into the back pass. Schmeichel's kicking was none too convincing in the FA Cup tie against Sunderland last Tuesday. Fortuitously got that one away. This is Giggs. Andy Cole. Back to Giggs. They pulled away from him. It's in there. Low. Sharpe goes for it. And Cantona has turned it in. Cantona scores after 8 minutes. The man at the centre of all the controversy in the opening few minutes for the alleged handball, but now he's gone and scored at the other end.
Well, this really is a truly outstanding goal. Great play from Giggs. Lovely little return there from Cole. But just look at the angle here that Cantona's got. How many players could possibly have got that in from that sort of angle? He's not entitled to score from there. Good ball to the back post. Just look at this, left foot. Great goal. But it all started, you know, from a great bit of individual play from Ryan Giggs. He must have been 35, 40 yards from goal. A little flick with the outside of his foot completely bamboozled Julian Dix. He got the other side of him, played a little 1-2 with Andy Cole. Good ball to the back post, and a terrific finish from Cantona. Truly outstanding goal, and great play from Ryan Giggs.
Manchester United then have survived a torrid opening 3 minutes. And they almost lost a goal to Tony Cottee, who rattled the crossbar. Convincing header away by Brown. This is Andy Cole. And Mikloško forcing it away.
Great play from Cole, wasn't it? Wet pass, Brown tried to squeeze it into the near post, but Mikloško was alive to the situation.
Lee Sharpe with the flick back. Giggs! Some of West Ham's clearing headers falling at dangerous feet.
This is the chance for Cole. Goes at Kenny Brown. Tries to get in the near post, but Mikloško saves it with his foot.
Flick on by Dowie. And Gary Neville with the back pass. Manchester United have settled themselves into a good rhythm after a tricky opening few minutes. Bruce doing some defending. Flick back by Williamson. And now Schmeichel gets Manchester United quickly on their way. Cantona back to Cole, and this is Phil Neville. Phil Neville looking for Sharpe, and the flag is very quickly up against Lee Sharpe.
Well, Here's the goal again from Cantona. Good little ball from Giggs to the back post. Very, very difficult angle from Cantona. Well, as I said before, there aren't too many players who have squeezed it in from that sort of angle. Not on his favourite foot, his left foot, but he made it look easy.
Well, it'll be a year on Thursday since Eric Cantona's moment of madness at Selhurst Park served that long suspension. There's been a lot of talk about him not being the same player since he came back in the team. Sharpe gets it across. West Ham clear. This is Irwin. Bruce. Out of play for the West Ham throw. Moncur. Hopefully one that Slater and Dowie both went for. They're looking for the offside against Cole, who'd stayed on, and Rieper clears to Cantona. But Irwin. And Cantona still let it go to Cole. Sharpe in space. And Sharpe again showed great persistence. It seemed that Mikloško had smothered it.
Yes, it was great play again for Man United. Good chance for Sharpe. Little dummy there, well, not a dummy, a little touch from Cantona. This is where Sharpe's first touch lets him down. But here you'll see a great clearance from Kenny Brown. Gets back, otherwise it would have been 2-0 to Man United.
Corner cleared by Bishop. Gary Neville. Bishop to Williamson. Looking for Dowie. Moncur to Slater. Dowie and Cottee are waiting in the box. This is Dix. Williamson's the player coming in. And it was a good firm shot. And Schmeichel hurled his body at the ball. Sharpe looking for Andy Cole. Awkward one for him to bring under control. But Schmeichel prevents Williamson from drawing West Ham back into the game.
This is a great ball from Dix. You see Williamson at the back post. He hits it on the volley. Schmeichel with his legs. Good positioning, in the right place at the right moment. They can consider themselves a little bit unfortunate at West Ham. They've gone close now on 2 occasions. They've hit the crossbar, and a good save there from Schmeichel. But it's Manchester United who lead through that goal from Cantona.
West Ham making a determined effort. Williamson. Here's Slater. Robbie Slater not playing in his favoured position on the left-hand side, but he's won the corner there.
No, he's certainly more comfortable when he's on his right foot. I think we'll see a lot tonight of Robbie Slater when he receives it, not going past Irwin, but checking onto his right foot, putting balls into the back post.
Now, what can Williamson produce from this corner? Schmeichel punches. Giggs helps it on. Kenny Brown. Moncur. Williamson. He's done well. Good toss from Williamson, and Neville got to the ball, as indeed he had to.
Once again, some great individual skill, this time from Williamson. As Butt goes to close him down, great bit of individual ability. Onto his left foot, and a good clearance from Neville.
Rieper and Cottee were both coming in behind Gary Neville, so it was vital that he got there.
Yes, he took up a good position, Gary Neville, at the near post.
Williamson delivers. Not as well this time. Potts. Sharpe. Steve Bruce has taken a blow to the face in that last challenge. This is Cantona. All away by Bishop to Keane. Irwin. Controlled by Slater. But tackling back as he does so well. This is Cantona. Sharpe. Neville. West Ham playing their way out of trouble. And doing so very effectively. This is Bishop. Slater. And Bruce eventually gets his way. Clearance by Giggs, which Cole can't reach. Steve Bruce, you can see, bleeding from that aerial challenge. Cottee bearing down on Irwin. Cottee. Slater. He's right through. Slater driving it right across.
Well, it wasn't the type of cross that Dowie was expecting. Well, that's confidence for you from Gary Neville. I don't think Schmeichel quite appreciated that. He must have had great awareness, realising that there was nobody coming in behind him to allow it to go past him like that.
Already in the opening 19 minutes, we've seen some good individual skills on offer. And don't forget that later on we'll be asking you to nominate your man of the match and giving you the number in the second half. It's a great ball to Giggs. Clearance by Bishop. Sharpe. Cantona. Clearance by Potts. Keane. And Giggs, well, Slater really had gone to sleep then. Sharpe. Sloppy ball from Sharpe.
Well, every time Manchester United attack, they really do look sharp. And you feel that West Ham are really having to hang on. They're certainly stretched defensively to try and hold this Manchester United attack. The attack with such pace, that's what I feel has been lacking since Gunchauskas has left them. They've lacked that pace on the right-hand side, but now they have it in Giggs. And Lee Sharpe isn't the slowest either, so they've got pace on both sides.
Here's Williamson. Headed down by Dowie, and it's gone out for the throw. Bobby Slater has gone over to take it, has just had a bit of an earful from Harry Redknapp. I think he's told him to keep his wits about him a bit more. Dix with the throw. Dangerous header back in from Butt. Dix looking for Dowie. Too far raised even for Ian Dowie to make contact with. Julian Dix, who provided the cross, wasn't actually playing when Manchester United paid their visit to Upton Park at the end of last season. Cantona. Played by Butt to Eric Cantona. Shoved by Cantona on Keane and Dix.
There was a little incident there between Cantona and Dix. You see Cantona just catches Dix, completely unintentional, but the crowd were quick to have a go at Cantona, but he reacted in the correct way. He picked Dix up, shook his hand, and everything was forgotten.
Neither of the two players involved known for their even temperament, but both reacting well in that incident. Sort of atmosphere tonight, there really is a test of the new Cantona. Very passionate and sometimes hostile atmosphere. Sharpe gets the cross in, looking for Cole, as he did with the move that led to the goal against Sunderland, but Cole crowded out on this occasion. Put out of play for a throw-in. Let's get a word from our reporter, George Gavin.
Yes, Rob, when Robbie Slater came across the bench a few moments ago, it was actually to complain about a thigh injury which he's suffering from. Keith Rowland has been told to warm up, but Robbie's trying to run it off.
So we've perhaps done him an injustice with the incident when Ryan Giggs stole in ahead of him. Rieper's ball, looking for Dowie. An injury to Robbie Slater is really the last thing that West Ham want, with their resources already threadbare. They are without Michael Hughes and Lazaridis, who have thigh injuries, Breaker and Martin, who have groin problems, and Marco Bogas, who was sent off in this equivalent fixture at Old Trafford earlier in the season. He's sidelined after a cartilage operation. So literally Harry Redknapp had no other senior player to choose from other than the 14 who he's turned out on duty tonight.
If you remember, Rob, earlier in the season when we did the match here against Chelsea, there was an injury problem surrounding Slater. In fact, Harry Redknapp there virtually ruled Slater out with a groin injury. Then the morning of the game, he came in, said he felt good and played him. He's got another injury tonight, not a groin injury, but a thigh one. We'll have to keep our eye on that.
Now, Ian Dowie appears to have a sight problem. I think he's replacing a contact lens. Hope it's the right prescription.
I would say that's more than a slight problem.
Well, lucky that he got his spare set with him. Here's Cottee. Dix. Looking for the run of Robbie Slater, but the ball played is too long for him. Well, West Ham are still down to 10 men because I don't know if his contact lens has dried up or whether he's lost it. He may have to play on with good vision in just the one eye. Here's Irwin. Header away by Kenny Brown. Cantona, scorer of the only goal so far. Dealt with well by Slater. Moncur. After that last move which broke down, West Ham grateful that Ian Dowie has returned. Moncur. Tackle from Keane. Cantona. What a brilliant ball to Giggs. Giggs set away this time by Irwin. Andy Cole, lovely play this from United, and Cantona may well finish it. Sharpe will.
I think the referee's given handball against Cantona. Once again, great build-up play from Manchester United. Fantastic 40-yard ball from Cantona, started it. Well, it touches his arm, but I think that's very unfortunate for Manchester United. It wasn't intentional. Probably a little lob onto the head of Sharpe. Open goal. Well, they can certainly feel hard done by. I don't think that should have been disallowed.
Maybe a less clear-cut handball decision than the one that maybe should have led to a penalty. And Cantona handled in his own area, or appeared to, in the opening few minutes of the game. Foul by Nicky Butt. Free kick quickly taken. This is Cottee. Not much on for Williamson. West Ham's midfield has been forced into instant decisions, hassled and harried by the Manchester United midfield. Moncur. Sharpe who made that last tackle, but really Butt and Keane are giving the West Ham midfield no time to settle at all.
That's a brilliant tackle from Sharpe. Tracked back well, helping out his defence, like all midfield players should do.
Cottee. Given away by Cottee to Cantona. Keane. Good burst from Keane, and Brown blocks the intended pass to Sharpe. This is Moncur. Slater. And Cottee's offside.
Rob this man in possession. Cantona is absolutely running the show tonight.
Don't forget that coming up this weekend on Sky Sports, we've got FA Cup football, extended highlights of Tottenham against Wolves, starting at 6 o'clock on Saturday. And a live match on Monday night from the 4th round, Queen's Park Rangers against Chelsea. Join us from 7 o'clock. It's Carling Premiership action tonight. And Manchester United desperate to stay in touch with the leaders. Newcastle coming forward with Giggs, but Cole can't reach it. You can't emphasise enough the importance of a victory for Manchester United this evening. Here's Slater. Nicky Butt. Giggs. Laid off by Cole to Butt. And the clearance by Potts. In came Steve Bruce. And the free kick given against Bruce. But Manchester United leading with this goal from Eric Cantona.
Yes, Cantona's been outstanding tonight. There have been the suggestions that since he's come back after his suspension, he's lost that little bit of devil in his play, but I don't go along with that. I think he benefits from the extra bit of width that Manchester United have got tonight. He's reveling in the freedom that he's got. He's such a clever player. He just comes back in that little area where he's difficult to pick up. And you've got Giggs and Sharpe really stretching West Ham, and Cantona's getting plenty of possession.
Well, the injury to Robbie Slater has proved insurmountable, and he is going to be withdrawn. Keith Rowland is coming on to take his place. They're fortunate that at least in Rowland they have a left-sided player replacing like with like. But it's another savage blow to the already stretched resources of the West Ham management. Yet another thigh injury to add to the West Ham collection. Given away to Butt. This is Cantona. Neat little layoff. Cole. Irwin. Phil Neville. Good play with Cantona. Nicky Butt. Left for Cole. I wonder if maybe Butt will look back on that and wish he'd taken the opportunity himself.
Once again, Cantona's involved. Just look at the ball he plays here with the outside of his right foot. Absolutely to perfection. The chest control from Butt wasn't as it should have been. It goes in between him and Cole. I think it's finally Cole who gets the last touch, but it's not a good touch. Another good chance for Manchester United.
Cantona was again at the focal point of it. Inevitably, there was a lot of hype about Eric Cantona's return from suspension, and he started well with a goal from the penalty spot against Liverpool. There has been a little bit of a dip in his form, but he has come back again, prompting this Manchester United side into action, and may yet keep up his record of winning a championship in every full season that he plays.
Yes, at the top of the programme I spoke about Andy Cole benefiting from two wide players there because he can get more service in wide areas. Certainly Cantona is relishing tonight, finding so much space.
Neville. And did well to win the corner. Phil Neville celebrated his 19th birthday yesterday. Gary Neville left back by Manchester United as the corner's in towards Steve Bruce. Rieper with a header away. Gary Neville, who actually favours playing in the centre of defence, although clearly his lack of height has drawn question marks about whether he could ever make it a permanent position. Williamson.
Yes, I just hope for his sake it doesn't harm his chances at England level.
Brown trying to find a way through, and contents himself with the award of a corner. Rieper will be the man to watch for. Beyond him. To try to line it up still for Rieper, and Williamson tried the shot, which deflects back. Bishop. Dowie goes in for it. Meets his match in Steve Bruce.
Good header that from Bruce, certainly better than the previous header from the corner from this side from Rowland when he headed it back towards his own goalkeeper.
There's been a question mark against this Manchester United defence, whether it's too soft-centred, particularly in the absence of Pallister, who's had this back problem. One or two suggestions that Steve Bruce might be reaching the end of the road. Irwin. And Moncur and Rieper didn't know who to clear it. And a fearsome shot struck in by Dennis Irwin.
Well, all sorts of confusion in that West Ham box. They don't look happy when that ball comes in. An opening goal from Cantona has certainly unsettled them. Irwin lets fire, but just returning to your point, Rob, about the Manchester United defence. Undoubtedly missed Pallister, and I think there was no more evident than that in the first couple of minutes than the chance that West Ham had that hit the crossbar. It was an early kick from Mikloško and a long kick, but Manchester United had three defenders back against Cottee and Dowie, and they've got to deal with that first ball. I'm sure that if Pallister had been there, he would have dealt with that first ball, and the chance would have arisen which Cottee hit the crossbar from.
Certainly a point that won't be lost on Alex Ferguson. Given away by Gary Neville. Misunderstanding with Cantona. Now Moncur has thrown possession away. Normally accurate passing of Bishop and Moncur in the West Ham midfield's gone a little awry tonight. Moncur, a player who's being strongly linked with Arsenal, although West Ham deny all knowledge.
Yes, you come to associate with Moncur and Bishop with nice, tidy, tight passing. They've got a great range of passing, But I think they've suffered tonight with a loss of Slater, who's given them a bit of width on that left-hand side. On the right-hand side, Williamson, who's in possession of the ball, is having to play very, very narrow. So they've got no width in which to hit the ball.
Simplified then when Williamson and Moncur were running into each other, and then the ball that he sprayed to Kenny Brown was overhit. Manchester United have only won a league match at Upton Park once since Alex Ferguson took over 9 years ago, back in 1989. Irwin. Giggs. Keane is free in the box, it's beyond him. Cole was coming in. 3 West Ham players converged. Cole felt he should have had the corner, but the goal kick is given.
With a good attacking movement there from Manchester United. Irwin played it slightly behind Giggs. It was a good ball from Giggs to the far post. Cole took up a good position. Just couldn't quite direct his header towards goal. There's certainly good value for this 1-0 lead, Manchester United.
It might have been 2-0 had that effort from Sharpe counted. Somewhat controversially ruled out on the adjudged handball of Cantona. Rowland. Given away to Irwin. Clearance by Mikloško. Keane. Giggs making the break. To Steve Potts.
Once again, a great ball from Keane. Played it in behind Dix, using the pace of Giggs.
Sharpe was alert there to get in on Moncur. Butt lines it up for Cantona, who spreads it wide to Cole. Too short for Giggs, and Dix is there, but this is Irwin. Sharpe, played through by Keane. This time have been pinned back severely. Neville tucking that one away for the throw-in. The match so far hasn't promised too many routes back into the game for West Ham, despite their bright opening.
No, it's a problem for them, Rob, playing low width. There's not a lot they can do about it, really, because they don't have any natural wide players in the team here. They're certainly done on the bench. Chris White is the natural central defender. I don't think Peter Shilton can play wide, can he?
Might give it a try. Corner. Knocked off by Mark Rieper. Shows just how limited Harry Redknapp's resources are, doesn't it, when you look at what he's got left on the bench, and he has a 34-year-old defender and a 46-year-old goalkeeper. Still plenty of experience.
But it's always the way, isn't it? You know, you get an injury to your only wide player, Slater, when you've already got Lazaridis out injured, Hughes injured, Parks away with the US national team. It's really unfortunate for him, because I was chatting before the game, and when they had those postponed games, Newcastle and Coventry, they certainly had a fitter squad in terms of numbers than what they have at the moment.
They do, of course, have the foreign imports Bilic and Dumitrescu still to come in, awaiting international clearance or a renewed work permit in Dumitrescu's case. Header by Brown, but clearing to Cole. And Rowland shutting off the route to Giggs. Cottee, Dowie. Nice ball to Bishop. Over away by Gary Neville. And this is Ryan Giggs. Cantona. Philip Neville. Giggs.
Just look at the space that Philip Neville's got on his left-hand side. There's a definite reluctance from Williamson to go and close him down there. He doesn't want to play in those areas.
Here is Williamson. Sharpe. Straight round Williamson, and now it's Giggs who's dropped into the space. Cantona and Cole are in the middle. Cantona misses it, Cole misses it too. And now Irwin coming up on the far side, drives it back in towards Sharpe. Sharpe is there, and the clearance by Moncur. West Ham under real pressure here. Keane. Irwin had dropped into the space behind the back, and Keane couldn't find the ball for him in his armoury.
That was an excellent ball from Ryan Giggs, and a very bad miss from Cantona. Should have been 2-0 that to Manchester United. Here you see them exposing that space again down West Ham's right-hand side. Just look at this ball from Giggs and the miss from Cantona. He's completely missed it. That was a glorious chance. Exactly what a front player wants, a good early ball. Giggs provided it, perfect height, just needed to touch it in, and that would have been 2-0.
Cantona has scored the only goal so far. Here he is again. But Philip Neville. Given away by Butt. Rowland finding Dowie. Here's Williamson, Sharpe closing in on him. Cottee back to Brown. Moncur. Sharpe challenging well with Bishop. Now United launch the attack with Keane. Keane suddenly exploding with Cole up in support. He couldn't force it through to him though. Just took it on a little too far. Moncur. And again, the normally reliable passing of John Moncur lets him down.
What a great drive and run that was from Keane. Andy Cole took up a good position. Fortunately for Keane, he just couldn't quite get it there. But the pace in which United are breaking is quite stunning, really is. The midfield of Rowland, Moncur, Bishop and Williamson, they just can't cope with the pace of Keane, Giggs and Sharpe.
Giggs. Butt has made a charge in the middle, Cole's already there. Giggs. Touch from Dowie. Successfully shepherded away by Schmeichel. New competition for him, of course, with the arrival of Tony Cottee, who was ineligible to take his place on the bench. So it's 3 outfield substitutes for Manchester United.
Well, after a great start from West Ham, when they should have gone ahead after only 2 minutes, they hit the crossbar. Gradually, the confidence is drained out of them. Certainly Manchester United should be more than 1-0 ahead. They really have dominated this first half. It's been a very, very impressive performance from Manchester United.
Cantona. Dix with the header back. minutes with Manchester United leading, and so far it's the Eric Cantona show. That one handball almost gave away a penalty. Another handball saw a Manchester United goal from Sharpe ruled out, but in between, Cantona himself scored, and Ian Dowie and the rest of the West Ham team can't find a way back into it. Manchester United 1-0 ahead at Upton Park.
The fact that Paul Ince isn't around tonight, has it changed matters that much?
I think a little both. I noticed there was less of the, well, almost hatred we talked about that they have for Manchester United when Paul Ince was in the side. And I reckon that the atmosphere wasn't quite as hostile as it's been in the last few seasons. And I think the performance, more than anything, has quelled the noise, and that's full credit to the way United have played this game tonight. They knew they were in a must-win situation, and at the moment, they look like winning.
It's been a smashing game so far. No reason why it shouldn't continue to be as we rejoin Trevor Francis and Rob Hawthorne.
It's the third season in a row that Eric Cantona has scored against West Ham United. He scored in both home appearances for Manchester United against them in the last couple of seasons. And how crucial will his 8th-minute goal be tonight? Manchester United aiming to cut Newcastle's lead at the top to a more manageable 9 points, though they will have played one game more. Newcastle, the game in hand from their own visit to West Ham, being postponed. Here's Sharpe. And the header away by Rieper. The flag is up as Sharpe goes in for the follow-up. Lee Sharpe, having already had what looked like a perfect goal in the first half, ruled out through Cantona's alleged handball.
West Ham certainly don't look happy at the back, do they? Whenever Irwin Martin is missing, he seems to lack his leadership and his organising qualities. Such a good talker, Irwin. Very, very experienced player.
Player who's declared his intentions to retire at the end of this season, so they'll be desperate to get him back to fitness so they can get a little more out of him yet.
There's no coincidence, you know, Rob, that since he's been out the side, they've been leaking goals quite regularly. Prior to this game, the last 6 games, they've leaked 16 goals, which is far too many.
In the appearances he has made, they've lost only 2 of the matches in which he's appeared this season. Here's Dowie. Williamson. Cut out by Philip Neville. Irwin. Keane, who was the match winner between the sides at Old Trafford earlier in the season. Here's Kenny Brown. Clearance by Gary Neville. Supporters trying to rally the troops with the old anthem. Brown, flick on from Cottee, and the flag up in the end against Ian Dowie.
Well, I think he was offside, but once again the marking was quite loose in the Manchester United defence. I just wonder how West Ham are going to get back into this game, but I would think they'll be encouraged by this. It's probably a foot offside. He's certainly got the wrong side of Man United defenders.
Giggs coming through. Giggs, who set up the goal so spectacularly. A long and reliable servant of the club. Heath Rowland. Dix. Challenge made by Roy Keane. Williamson has gone to join Cottee and Dowie in the box. Rowland has moved in there as well. Dix will aim for them. Headed away by Keane. Kenny Brown. Williamson was always chasing a lost cause to reach that.
We've spoken tonight quite regularly about Giggs and Sharpe from an attacking point of view, but also defensively they've done well. And what they've also done as well is they've stopped the West Ham fullbacks from getting forward.
Cantona setting Keane away there, but Kenny Brown was in the way.
When you look at the fullbacks, Kenny Brown and Julian Dix, they're naturally players who like to attack. But I think there's a little bit of fear with them. They're frightened to get forward because they know they've got such great pace against them in Sharpe and Giggs.
Moncur. Little gap for Cottee. Williamson's cross. Dowie will challenge, but Schmeichel was always favourite to get there. Here's Cantona. Sharpe. Cantona. Sharpe has moved into the box. Moncur blocks Cantona's route to the penalty area. Cole. Irwin. Giggs. Cross cleared by Bishop.
That's the only thing you know that lets Ryan Giggs down, is his consistency in crossing. That was a lovely controlled build-up once again from Manchester United. They released Giggs in behind Dix. He had plenty of time in which to put a measured ball in with his right foot. Cole was in the box waiting for it. It was a very, very disappointing cross from him.
Cantona orchestrated from the centre. Giggs. And to beat Dix and Rowland for pace. And between them they forced him to overrun it.
It's good defending that from Rowland, helping out Dix, showing his full-back qualities there, doubling back, making it doubly difficult for Giggs.
Moncur. Rowland looking for Dowie. Slight disadvantage in height. Gary Neville making his presence felt there against Dowie. This is Sharpe. Keane has pulled away. And the ball, not the one that Keane wanted. He wanted it played in front of him, and it was behind. Got into a useful position there, Keane. And the advantage not fully exploited by Manchester United.
Yes, it was clever play from Keane actually, because Giggs went to a more central area. But that was the trigger immediately for Keane to take the space that he indicated.
Keane trying to take advantage again from this side, finds Nicky Butt. And it took a deflection off Danny Williamson, which took some of the sting and direction out of it. Mikloško launches another long one. Bruce clears to Dennis Irwin. How Sharpe has been showing his defensive qualities. It's a rare opportunity of late for Lee Sharpe to show his qualities in the first team. He feels a little excluded from the first team picture, but he's made his presence felt generally tonight. And Steve Bruce is going to become the first player to be cautioned.
Well, Steve's complaining, but he can't have no complaints. It's a tackle from behind. Mr. Lloyd has to book him for it. Goes through the back of Cottee.
Bishop. Who's certainly experienced enough to know the penalty paid for that sort of challenge. Here's Steve Potts.
Bishop. Williamson under pressure, and he's conceded the throw-in. Yesterday was the 7th anniversary of Manchester United's last win here. Brian McClare was on the score sheet that day. He's not involved in the squad at all this evening. Steve Bruce and Lee Sharpe, who came on as a substitute, the only ones that are. Here's Irwin. Looking for Cantona. Clearance by Moncur. Cantona is lying prostrate on the ground. And the referee is going back to attend to him. The stretch out has been called for.
Yes, a rather clumsy challenge this from Rieper. He's all over Cantona. I think Eric makes it look slightly worse than what it was, but it's always risky doing that in the penalty box.
Rieper, who made the challenge on Cantona, the victim of one himself in West Ham's last game, when his face made contact with Lee Chapman's elbow. Well, they're certainly making the most of the time it's taking to treat Cantona, to slow proceedings down.
At this moment, Rob, I don't think they need to slow it down. They've played now for 55 minutes with a great tempo. They're just going to keep doing what they're doing. You get the feeling at the moment that West Ham are really hanging on at 1-0. I think that when United play at this tempo, they're a far better team.
Wayward free kick from Steve Bruce, which is greeted with the ironic applause. Every decision vigorously contested now as the atmosphere hots up. Every foul appealed against, and whether the atmosphere is influenced, the referee is now booking Nicky Butt for this.
Yes, as Kenny Brown lays that ball off into a wide area, Nicky Butt comes in with a very late challenge. Mr. Lodge, well positioned, produces the yellow card yet again.
As if there'd be a greater price to pay from the free kick. Headed away by Bruce. Call the furthest Manchester United player forward. This is Potts. Dowie. Header back for stroke to Keane. Rowland's tackle doesn't pay off, and this is Cantona. Giggs this time has gone into the centre. Cantona has undoubtedly tracked the run. And the clearance by Mark Rieper. Dowie shuffling to get in front of Gary Neville, lining it up for Cottee. Here's Williamson. Brown is tearing forward on the overlap. The ball played is a good one. Brown. United clear from what seemed a very promising West Ham move. Gary Neville getting it away.
Yes, you feel they could have perhaps produced something slightly better than that. They've got a good situation there, 2-on-1 against young Philip Neville. The final ball was very poor once again.
Bruce with a header away from the throw-in. Moncur goes down. Shot from Williamson. Moncur and Bruce both went down together. Sharpe has been strong in the tackle all night. Brown, the Reading side from which he's been recalled, play Manchester United in the FA Cup this weekend.
West Ham fans are certainly doing their best to lift the team. But they're aware that they're certainly second best tonight, West Ham, and to be fair, the players have responded with a little bit of pressure. It's the first time for a little while that they've exerted any sort of pressure on Manchester United.
The West Ham faithful are just grateful to see a game. 5 of the last 6 West Ham matches have been away from home, and all of them have ended in defeats. Who's holding up? Tony Cottee and Schmeichel, rescued by Gary Neville with a clearance. His kicking really sometimes doesn't fill you with great confidence.
No, I don't know whether it's got worse after the problem he's had recently with his calf injury, whether he's still got a slight problem with it, because when he first came to this country, we all knew how well he could throw it, but he's never been a poor kicker of the ball.
There's a theory that the arrival of Tony Cottee might just give Schmeichel the breathing space to have some surgery on the injury problems that he's had. Potts with a free kick for West Ham. Rieper right up with the attack. He's the target, and he got the flick on, and Cottee was late going for that, but he's won the corner.
Rieper gets up above Cantona, Cottee's onto it. Well, he goes in bravely, but really that should have been Schmeichel's ball. He should have made that his.
Pressure's not over, it's an awkward corner from Rowland, but Dowie can't meet it. Bit more like it though from West Ham.
Yes, it's a well-drilled corner this, to the back post, just slightly overhit. Dowie coming in, just goes over his head. But you do feel if West Ham are going to get any success tonight, it's going to be from wide areas. Free kicks, corners. Manchester United don't have a great deal of height in there without Pallister. Bruce regularly marks Dowie and is left to Cantona to try and prevent Big Rieper from getting ahead to the ball. Rieper is probably the tallest man on the field, a good 2 or 3 inches taller than Cantona, and that little chance there that fell to Cottee came from a little flick on from Rieper.
Keith Rowland. Moncur. Tackled by Butt. This is Giggs. 4 Manchester United players swarming into the attack. West Ham have had the chance to regroup, but Cantona might still find a way through. Looking for the 1-2 with Cole, and between them, Potts and Bishop have scrambled it clear. And once more, they've run the throw-in.
Well, it's a good situation for Manchester United. Giggs is released on this right-hand side, elected to try and beat 2 players. But if he had just looked up at the back post, Manchester United had a 2-on-1 situation.
Bishop. Giggs. Looking up again with Cantona, but it's Cole. Cottee. Irwin. Cole strongly holding off his man. Giggs finds Phil Neville. Sharpe has joined Cole and Cantona in the box, and it's a full cross from Phil Neville straight to Kenny Brown. Dowie stretching Gary Neville to the limit. Phil Neville. Irwin. Schmeichel got plenty of distance on that one, as he had to.
I thought at first it was an absolutely perfect pass into the path of Sharpe. Slightly overhit.
West Ham fans loyal to a point, but they're getting a little frustrated at the distribution from the midfield, which is allowing Manchester United to impose themselves. Cantona looking for Keane. Good build-up again involving Sharpe. And the cross too deep for Andy Cole. But West Ham drew United onto them again.
They keep breaking at such pace that West Ham, they can't get near them. I just thought here perhaps Sharpe may just pull this back to Cantona. He lets it go to the far post, but slightly overhits it.
Doing his cause for a regular first-team place some good tonight, do you think?
Well, he's certainly contributed well in this game. What he does do is, with his left foot, he gives him such a good balance on that left-hand side.
Long ball forward. By Gary Neville. Driven in by Brown. Here's Irwin. Away by Rieper to Cottee. This is Williamson. Nothing on for him to his right. This is Bishop. Irwin in the way.
There you saw the difference in the build-up. Manchester United got great pace, used it very, very effectively, whereas West Ham, they don't have that, they don't possess that sort of pace, so they continue to have to pass the ball to feet. They find it very, very difficult to get behind the Manchester United back four.
Dowie couldn't get the better of Gary Neville there. Put away by Kenny Brown. Just wonder what you think Dumitrescu will bring to this West Ham team when he is eventually eligible to play. I'll have a word on that in a moment. As Cole finds Giggs. Dix.
Once again, another sloppy cross from Ryan Giggs. He's very careless at times, and he's got the ability to play a better ball than that.
Put away by Rieper. Nicky Butt. Cole. Here's Schmeichel with his free kick. Header away by Julian Dix. Don't forget, by the way, that you can call us with the Man of the Match nomination, 0891 111101. That's 0891 111101. And the lines are open now for your votes. Cole playing a 1-2 with Giggs. It's fallen to Cantona. Did he control that with his hands? Certainly there were strong appeals. No award.
Well, without seeing the replay, that looked a clear handball.
Nothing was given. West Ham have broken. No harm done, I suppose, from their point of view. Story could have been very different. Now Cottee. Breaking for Bishop. Oh, it was an open goal, or so it seemed. And Irwin scrambles it away. The goal was yawning for Ian Bishop, and he couldn't deliver the equaliser.
Well, that was great play from Cottee. Everybody thought he was going to shoot. Shows great awareness. But give credit to Irwin. He knew he had to protect that goal. He got back and got it off the line.
Rowland with the corner. Dowie heads it back across. Cantona again goes for it. Every time he touches the ball now, there's an appeal for handball.
Flick on by Rieper. And Butt clears an under pressure Manchester United penalty area. Dix. Flick on towards Rieper, headed away by Bruce. Dowie knocks it back in there. Rieper challenges and couldn't really get a firm contact with the header.
What a glorious chance that was for West Ham. I'm sure Harry Redknapp at this moment is thinking, well, you're not going to get many better chances than that. I think it surprised everyone that Cottee elected to square that ball to Bishop. Very unselfish. Great play from Cottee.
Might be even more costly, that miss now. Giggs coming forward. Keane! And Cole's in there as well as it deflected kindly into Mikloško's hands. West Ham's spirits lifted. Moncur. And not for the first time he incurs the wrath of the West Ham fans. Sharpe looking for Giggs. Dix in the way. Sharpe not giving up the battle. Cottee. Really lined up that gilt-edged chance for this man, Ian Bishop. Didn't really hit it with any power, but Irwin manfully did his job to clear. Bishop again. Potts, Moncur. And this is Rowland. Hemmed in a little on this touchline. Dixler has found the gap for Cottee! It's a good shot, well held by Schmeichel.
They're certainly playing with a bit more confidence, West Ham. Getting men further forward. Slip there from Gary Neville. Cottee doesn't think twice about this. He elected not to shoot just a couple of minutes ago, but that was a great shot. Well saved from Schmeichel.
Schmeichel saved it that time, but a moment before, Dennis Irwin really did keep Manchester United's lead intact.
Does well, Irwin, doesn't he? Gets back to protect that goal. Just gets it off. Well, it's not the line, is it? It's off the 6-yard line. He can't believe it, Harry Redknapp. He knows they're not going to get many chances in this game. They don't come better than that.
And Keane going in. Butt going in dangerously.
Butt's off.
He's already been booked.
She's got to go.
And Keane unnecessarily getting involved. Andy Cole protesting as well. Steve Bruce comes in to act as peacemaker. It's all getting very out of hand, and there can only really be one outcome. Cole has been booked. Nicky Butt has been shown his second yellow card, and he's off. The yellow card is followed by the red, and we have the spectacle as Alex Ferguson watches on in disbelief of Butt leaving the field, and Cantona having to act as peacemaker to prevent Andy Cole from getting himself sent off as well. Bishop gets the cross in, and Schmeichel comes to claim it.
Well, with Manchester United down to 10 men, I'm sure Harry Redknapp would like to put an attacking player onto the field. But with White and Shilton, the remaining two, just doesn't have that facility.
Philip Neville breaking forward, and he's won the corner. Manchester United then down to 10 men for the final 14 minutes. Andy Cole adding to their problems by getting a yellow card for getting involved in the heated discussions with the referee over the sending off.
Sharpe's corner, Cantona coming in for the header. Keane going in. Challenged by Dixon, Roy Keane, and now Cantona again has to come in and act as peacemaker. Challenged by Dixon Keane.
And here's the challenge. Well, a little bit reckless. There's Alex Ferguson now is making a substitution. Young David Beckham coming on. I'd imagine that he would perhaps have to forfeit one of his wide players.
Cole is the player coming off with a yellow card against his name. And David Beckham comes on to take his place.
Well, I can only think the reason for that, Rob, is that he's worried that Andy Cole may be sent off because he completely lost his head. He was looking to get away with a yellow card. It could have been a red card.
Bishop has found Dowie. And here's Giggs. Well, this fixture has a tendency for being somewhat heated. Marco Bogas of West Ham sent off just after being introduced as a substitute in the meetings of the team at Old Trafford earlier in the season. And Nicky Butt could have little to complain about after the second yellow card that led to him walking off.
Let's have a look at the challenge here from Butt. Well, I think he got the ball there, didn't he? And obviously Mr. Lodge saw it differently to what I saw it.
Well, he looks on sternly. Stephen Lodge, who sent off Darren Peacock in the match between Newcastle and Chelsea in the FA Cup replay last week, has produced another red card tonight. So Newcastle, who suffered at Mr. Lodge's hands last week, hoping that his decision tonight might give West Ham the leverage to pull themselves back into this match. And Nicky Butt celebrated his 21st birthday yesterday, and he's got 2 late cards today that he certainly didn't want. Third time that Manchester United have had a player sent off in a league match this season. Roy Keane sent off against Blackburn and Middlesbrough, both of which United went on to win. So can they hang on here in the final 10 minutes? With Cantona's goal. Cantona's behaviour has been exemplary. Acting as the mediator. Beckham looking for Sharpe, and it's beyond him. And out for a West Ham throw. Harry Redknapp wants his team to exploit their one-man advantage. Dowie on to Moncur. This is Cottee up in support. Dowie gets it across, clearance by Bruce. A free kick given for the challenge on Neville. Don't forget to get your calls in for man of the match. 0891 111101 is the number to ring with your nominations. 0891 111101 for your Carling Premiership man of the match.
Well, you saw Alex Ferguson get a little bit animated on the sidelines. He must be really upset with Nicky Butt, because really the game has been controlled by Manchester United, apart from a couple of chances that West Ham have had opening 2 minutes, and that chance from Bishop. It really has given them a boost that we couldn't have expected, because it's not been that type of game, has it?
Certainly not. Bishop putting Giggs under pressure. Sharpe. Challenged by Rieper, penalised. Here's Giggs. Put out of play by Brown. West Ham then still pegged back at a time when Harry Redknapp wants everything thrown forward. They really now have got to adopt the sort of gung-ho approach that Manchester United took in this fixture at the end of last season when the title was at stake. If West Ham are to rescue anything from this game, Keane coming back, having trapped Moncur. Potts. Brown has given it away to Giggs. And Sharpe made his run too early, and he's offside.
Yes, he knew there was space in behind, so did Giggs. You're quite right, Sharpe just went a little bit too early. If he just delayed it, certainly a lot of space in behind for him to exploit.
Clearance long by Gary Neville. Here's Rowland. Moncur going in with Neville. Not back in there towards Cottee. Chance for Dowie. Magnificent save from Schmeichel.
Certainly was. It was a great try from Dowie. Lovely chest control this from Dowie. Not a particularly good header that from Irwin. Chest, left foot volley. Great save from Schmeichel.
Rowland with the corner, and he was struggling that time as it was cleared by Sharpe, and Brown volleys the return over the bar. Goalkeeper who lost sight of the corner, but before that it led to the corner with a fantastic save.
Good volley, isn't it, from Dowie? Just bounces in front of Schmeichel. Takes no chances, just parries it around the post for a corner. And it starts with a poor header from Irwin. Doesn't get any distance on it at all, goes straight to Dowie.
Giggs. Behind, bit of thumping and dodging with both Williamson and Brown. Very healthy-looking crowd here at Upton Park tonight. Just over 24,000. Being well entertained and possibly seeing Manchester United on the way to cutting the gap on Newcastle. But West Ham have thrown Mark Rieper forward now. He's staying forward as Dix plays this one through. Header away by Bruce. Now Rieper coming back to challenge Beckham.
Yes, Harry Redknapp didn't have that facility on the bench and put an extra forward on, so he's decided to put Rieper up front. That's what Man United could do with Pallister, isn't it?
Well, yes, I think it might leave West Ham a little exposed. He's going back into his defensive area now. Bishop has been playing a little more defensively since Rieper pushed forward. And Williamson is penalised for the challenge on Giggs. But if Manchester United do hold on, Alex Ferguson will know that his side don't always make it easy for themselves.
He's trying to get some instructions out to his players, and I think the instruction was for Roy Keane just to play a holding role, just to stay there in front of the back four, not to go marauding on.
Giggs, good try.
I think it was Lee Sharpe actually on his left foot. Great shot across the face of the goal. A good save from Mikloško.
Here's Moncur. Keane comes across to shut him down. Sharpe. Cottee's won it. Real waste from Rowland, but you can see now how West Ham are throwing everything forward. Kenny Brown then was virtually playing as a centre forward.
Yes, he made the wrong selection there, Rowland. Dowie took up a good position at the back post. He was on his left foot, but he saw them goes in front of him, try to go for glory, and probably the best selection would have been a little chip to the back stick for Dowie.
Dix. Flick on from Dowie. Cottee's trying to get in between Bruce and Schmeichel. Schmeichel and Potts holding off Cantona.
Somewhat unfairly, I would have said.
Cantona, you would have thought, had an infinitely greater physical presence, but Potts appeared to bundle him off. Bishop with a throw. Here's Moncur. Sharpe penalised him for kicking the ball away. He may well be punished further. It's another booking.
Well, this is a dangerous situation for Manchester United. Rieper is the danger with his extra height. Surprised that Mikloško hasn't come forward. I'm sure Schmeichel would have done it at the other end.
Dix was going for it, but Dowie very frustrated at the position to which the free kick was delivered. Giggs with a flick on. Well, West Ham win the Fair Play Awards for tonight, but they're not going to take anything else from this match unless they can somehow root out an equaliser in the closing 30 seconds. Bishop, and Dowie made a brave attempt to divert that pass, Peter Schmeichel, and must have just been inches away from it.
Yes, my first thoughts were that perhaps Dowie was offside. The linesman didn't raise his flag.
Clearance from Mikloško. Might well prove to be West Ham's best hope again. Drifted a little to the right. Here's Dix. Rieper has again stayed forward. It's away from him. Headed away by Gary Neville. Irwin. Beckham. This is Giggs. Keane moving up to his left. And Keane has got behind the back. Cantona and Beckham are both in the middle. Giggs has gone to join them as well. It's Giggs, they've peeled away from him, and the shot's deflected behind for the corner.
Great run from Keane, wasn't it? He's been instructed to stay in front of the back four, but he could see that the space was on. It was Giggs who played him in. Just unfortunately played him slightly wide. He'd have been more central, he'd been in for an attempted goal. But they've got themselves a corner. They can certainly use up a few seconds here.
Giggs and Beckham attempting to do just that. Potts playing it away for the throw-in. The toil for Manchester United
May soon be over. We're into stoppage time, most of which will have been taken up by that lengthy period of treatment for Cantona in the second half. But Cantona's goal separates the two teams. Header on by Bishop. Rieper attempting to do the juggling. This is Bishop. Rieper again. And Dowie's offside. And may well have seen West Ham's last chance of setting up an equaliser disappear with that flag.
Dowie just slightly over Keane there. Strays offside.
Clearance by Dix. Rowland. Julian Dix. Keane. Sharpe has made the run, looking to get behind Kenny Brown. Here's Potts. Dowie's lay off to Moncur. Sense of urgency about West Ham. Clearance by Bruce. Dix is forward for it. Rieper knocks it on. Cottee looking for an opening, and Irwin quickly closes him down. Schmeichel guards his goal. Mikloško still shows no signs of coming forward, even though it's all hands to the pump for West Ham, looking for the equaliser. Rieper goes in for it, headed away by Keane. Williamson. Rieper will challenge. Rieper went down. Stephen Lodge didn't think there was any offence.
Too near to the keeper. Schmeichel doesn't miss those. Surely that must be it.
It is it. This week marks the first anniversary of Eric Cantona's infamous Kung Fu kick at Crystal Palace. Well, Cantona's goal tonight has earned the 3 points for Manchester United that closes the gap on the leaders Newcastle. But wherever Manchester United go, controversy seems to follow them. And tonight, Stephen Lodge has sent off Nicky Butt, 2 yellow cards, the second for a foul on Julian Dix. West Ham, despite their best efforts, unable to press home their one-man advantage. Ian Dowie stopped by a spectacular save from Peter Schmeichel. Ryan Giggs' artistry set up the goal for Cantona, squeezed in from an acute angle 8 minutes into the match. And Manchester United held on despite the pressure, despite the hostility from a very passionate crowd, to give themselves a little lift, a little lever closer to Newcastle in the race for the Premiership. And the Manchester United captain, Steve Bruce, is with our reporter, George Gavin.
Steve, congratulations. Does that lay a few ghosts which have haunted you on this ground in the past?
It seems to always be a little bit controversial here, doesn't it? And, of course, after the couple of years we've had here, I suppose it's nice to come and beat them for once.
You've got a few battle wounds, and there were a few heated moments there. Did you have a view of the sending off?
Well, I suppose I'm going to be biased, so I've got to keep my mouth shut, I suppose. But for me, it's just a genuine tackle, and he's gone for the ball. There's no maliciousness in it. And it seems to me to be the case now, where you get 5 players booked and somebody sent off.
Andy Cole seemed to lose his cool a little bit. You came into peacemaking, so did Eric Cantona. How pleased with you with Eric's efforts?
Well, I've read now he's a saint, isn't he? So, well done to him. I know there was a few people getting heated about it, but because we generally thought it was just a decent challenge.
Overall performance by Manchester United, pleased with that?
Well, I think we played well first half. We were up against it a bit in the second half, but credit to the lads, especially when we went down to 10 men. We dug in and got the 3 vital points.
Down to 9 points, Steve. Are Newcastle catchable?
Well, there's a heck of a long way to go, isn't it? And we sincerely hope so.
We wish you all the best. Thanks, Steve.
Thanks so much. Cheers.
Thank you, George. Man of the match. Don't forget, the lines are still open. 0891 11 1101. 0891 11 1101. Tremendous amount to look back on, and if you're wondering why Andy Cole lost his head like that, we'll show you in a couple of minutes.